One of the things that I've noticed is that the family tends to want me to focus on the client, not specifically the family. So one of the things that I've noticed is whenever I ask them, would it be okay or incorporate everyone in the family that's living in the home in therapy? So one of the challenging moments that I had was a dad did not agree with that. They said that they were not the problem, and it was not the parents, it was the child. So by, I guess, incorporating some of the trainings and just having him show up for a couple sessions, he actually enjoys therapy and is the one that will text me, call me, and say, we are coming in today, we need to reschedule. What is the training that you mentioned so we can implement it this time? Can you walk through this again with us? So it's been very, very satisfying, and also just encouraging that I am actually providing the trainings and skills that the families need.
One of my favorites was a kid who was originally referred to me by the preschool day treatment program in Winston because he was so anxious, and they suspected he'd gone through trauma based on his pediatrician reports. He was amazing because he went from seeing himself as a coward and a bad person because he didn't stand up for his mother, and to seeing himself as the great basketball player and wonderful artist and just delightfully funny, charming person that he was. And some of that was TFCBT, but some of that was also that his grandparents were super, and they got it, that it wasn't that their skills as parents were deficient, but that because of his trauma, he needed a whole different way to be parented.
I personally have a 3-year-old child, so I am currently doing a trauma-focused CBT model, and I have a client that is 2 years older than my child. So it was very kind of difficult. This child was molested, of course, sexually abused. So it was hard to, I could see my child in her place. So it was just I can't imagine anybody doing that to a kid, but I still have to go through the model and helping her reduce the anxiety, the trauma that's left on her, and just trying to go back to a normal level.
This kiddo had selective mutism, so she did not talk. For 2 years, she had been in school, did not say a word. She did not raise her hand. She did not eat. She used a mask because it was coming out of COVID times. She used a mask as a security blanket. She never took it off. She wouldn't eat because she wouldn't take her mask off. And I saw her in kindergarten, so she was in pre-K, and then I saw her at the end of her kindergarten year. And I was working with her for weeks and just coming in. She might give me a head nod. She might point. After some engagement, I think it was about 8 sessions, I said, how am I going to get through, what can I do to help? Because I know that, she talks at home, but anywhere else besides mom and dad, she's not speaking. And I really want to set up for success, especially in education and socially, because she's in that age, she's going from kindergarten, first grade, and those years, those younger years are so important for your social development. So, this is really funny, but we were playing Uno, and I said, the only way to win is if you have one card left. You have to say Uno, or else I'll call you out on it and you'll have to pick up more cards. This was about, like I said, 8 weeks of working together, so maybe our 9th or 10th session, and she had one card left, and she whispered it. She whispered Uno. I've never heard a word coming out of her mouth. And from then, it was little whispers. How are you doing? Good. One word answers, but little whispers, until at the end of the school year, she was coming in and telling me what she did. I went hiking at Grandfather Mountain. That one still sticks with me.
Then there are several students who present in a dysregulated fashion because they are reacting to a traumatic experience in their life. There's lots of times that students have had a shift in a home because of safety reasons, or they're actually holding it together really well, but it's so much energy and effort to be the resilient child who has experienced some level of chaos and trauma in their past, that it's hard for them to continue to put on the mask of I feel safe and healthy. And so once that mask kind of comes off a little bit, we're able to engage with them and help them and their support systems kind of re-explain their reactions in this kind of trauma-informed lens. And so that's a big part of our school-based intention, right? Iredell Statesville Schools actually invited us into that relationship to really focus on those trauma informed practices and shaping how the schools and the support systems can respond in the most compassionate way.